Very easy, that there's no precondition, there's no difficult task to fulfill. Whenever a person feels remorse, I need to ask Allah for forgiveness, and she stands in front of Allah and requests and pleads and accepts that I am useless and I've wasted my time and I reject this sin. And additionally, I promise not to do this sin again. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you are totally forgiven upon forgiven. So these are great words and statements and learnings that Allah Ta'ala has given to us, and we should try not to be unthankful and grateful. And this is in comparison to good deeds. I would like to share one thing in your service, that if we take a deed as an example, how much barakah, blessings there is in that deed. Allah Ta'ala has instilled barakah in that deed. That when a person practices that deed, then the first consequence of that deed is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala straight away forgives all his sins. Imagine what is that deed, that amal. And any amal, every amal, each and every amal Allah Ta'ala has made simple. Allah says, La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah Ta'ala said that I have given no difficulty to the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah has given us options, flexibility, alternative routes, different methods. We still don't come towards this. So these majalis, these gatherings, sitting in the company of good people, attaining ta'aleem, the discussions that we have, all of these things refresh the iman of a person, these ma'amala. So as I was saying, there's such an amal, alhamdulillah, a deed, and Allah Ta'ala says the first good effect of that deed is that all of the sins of a person are forgiven. First consequence. Imagine, easy deed. And is it difficult to get sins forgiven? In this day and age, the courts, the judges, they don't forgive a person. No, you're inside, get inside. But Allah is Kareem, merciful. We should be ashamed thinking that we have done this sin, we have done such big disobedience to Allah. And Allah Ta'ala, if He was to make apparent the people who are disobedient, for example me, then nobody would say salam to me. People would be disgusted with what I've done. The people in my house, my family would kick me out. Astaghfirullah, you've done such sins and you are not ashamed. But Allah is Sattar and Ayub. He knows everything, He sees everything. Allah Ta'ala is Sattar. Allah Ta'ala conceals the sins, and after concealing the sins, the amal. So the first consequence of this amal, this deed, is that all sins are forgiven straight away. The second consequence of this deed, this amal, is that not only are the sins forgiven, rather Allah Ta'ala has put power in this deed, that the power or the ability or the intention to do wrong is weakened. That person becomes so weak in sinning, his hands don't go towards sin, his legs don't go towards sin, he feels like wanting to sin. For example, if a person doesn't eat 4 or 5 days, he gets weak, etc., unwell, then his hands won't go to the glass. He's weak, give me a glass please, or give me a plate please, because he's weak and frail. So this deed is such a deed that when a person, he implements this deed, then consequence number 2 is that he becomes disabled in terms of sinning. He'll say, how can I sin? And the seal is put on sinning. The desire on for sinning is ended. So brothers, will we practice this amal? Inshallah. Why not? And the third factor, the third consequence of doing this amal, this good deed, is that Allah Ta'ala has put a special characteristic in this amal, this deed. Is Allah Ta'ala says the effect of this characteristic is that all physical illnesses and diseases are cured. Cancer will go. Forget about cancer. It's got nothing. Nothing can stand in front of this deed. You've seen sometimes people, the walis of Allah, the awliya, that they are old, mashallah, and they're doing the work of the deen, that they are writing thousands of kitabs. In this country, people will be amazed that they're writing tafsir, commentary of the Quran. Mufti Shafi Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi, with regards to him, it stated that he was old, he couldn't get up from his bed in the final days, and after that he passed away and he went to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even in that condition state, he used to lie down and write tafsir of Quran. His children explained this. Subhanallah. The doctor said, rest. Hazrat, rest. He said, I've rested all my life. I don't know how much time is left in my life. Let me do something that can benefit the ummah. Subhanallah. So this is the strength that Allah Ta'ala gives to the walis of Allah. So the physical diseases, even those are given cure by this amal. That's consequence number 3. And the fourth consequence of this deed, I'm just telling you a few fadail, virtues of this deed. The fourth fadail, or good consequence of this deed, is that any man, any human being, without that deed, cannot become the wali of Allah. You know, we say Wali Allah, Awliya Allah, Muqarrabeen, Salihin. These words, Muttaqeen, Abideen. And the people who are close to Allah, Taqiyya. These are words that define and praise the Awliya Allah. So we realize that doesn't matter. All the Awliya in the history of Islam, it was lazim, essential for them to practice this deed. So mashallah, you are pious, you are already good, you are determined, you are focused, you've got this path you practice on. So we should know about this deed. If we're on that line, that path, we're working hard, we want to get close to Allah, then we're wasting our time if we don't know about this deed. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, that what is that deed? That will give these 4 consequences, effects. What's that amal? What is that deed? We need to know about it. Alaykum bi qiyamul layl. قال Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that you should upon yourself make lazim the prayer of tahajjud.